Hello, my name is Ermina A. I will discuss my part highlight number 1. So, the BB game is a game or competition of Lego. Here, it sets up the game board, places symbols in the spaces, and determines the first player's turn. First, public class BB game is the name of our class that we use in our code, and our identifier is BB game, the current bracket game. Next, private static finite intro equals 6 indicates the number of rows in the game board, which is 6 rows. Private static finite in column equals 7 indicates the number of columns in the game board, which is 7 columns. Private static final chart empty slot equals is the symbol used to indicate that a space on the board is empty. Private static final chart player space equal X is the symbol used to indicate the player piece on the board. Private static final chart on the computer piece equal O is the symbol used to indicate the computer piece on the board. Private char square bracket board is 2D array containing the board of the game, where each element can have a single like X or O. Private boolean player turn indicates the currently the turn in the game. If the player's turn is true, it's the player turn. If not, it's the computer's turn. Let's move to constructing the game board and determine who goes first. So explaining board, new char, row, square bracket, post, square bracket, and square bracket, colon, square bracket. It creates a new 2D array containing the game board. This array size is determined by rows and columns, allowing the game to have the correct size of the board. Initialize board, open and close parentheses, column, is a method that initializes the operation that places symbols in each cell of the board. Here, player's turn equals to means it sets the first turn to the player by setting it to true, signifying that the player goes first after the board is ready.
My name is Eloisa Papagayo. In Java game board management, typically involves methods like analyzing board to set up a board with empty slots, display boards to print board states, and drop a piece in column chart pieces on the board. These methods are critical for managing the game board's state and enabling players' interaction effectively. Give developers can create a dynamic and interactive experience.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremiah, and I will be discussing our method or function check win with the data type of Boolean. So, first, let's look at our method parameter. Our method parameter holds the parameter piece. This is to represent the player piece x and 0. The method then checks for the 4 consecutive occurrence of a specified piece in row, column, or diagonal. Now let's start to our first for loop. It iterates from top row and moves downward. And for each row, it checks for the 4 consecutive piece. It also does the same for the column. And if it found such sequence, the method then returns true, which indicates a win. And for our next nested for loop, it is similar to the first, but it differs from where it starts iterating. The for loop starts its iteration from the leftmost column and moves to the right and checks for the sequence of 4 consecutive pieces vertically. If it does, the method returns true, which indicates a win. Now, the next for loop checks for the sequence starting from top left to the bottom right corner. By starting at the top left, and it returns true if it finds a sequence. And the last nested for loop is similar to the previous one, but starts to iterate from the top right to bottom left. And if it does find the winning sequence, it returns true, which indicates a win. Now, if none of these nested for loops finds the winning sequence, the method then returns false, indicating that the player or the computer haven't won yet. And that's all for our method check to win.
Hi, my name is Trisha Rabano, and I'm here to talk about this part of the code. First, the method used here is called isPortFull. begins by repeating over each row and column on the game board. Then it repeats through every line of the board to see if any empty slots remain. If an empty slot is found, the method returns false, indicating the board is not full. If there's no empty slots found after repeating through all lines, the method returns true, indicating that the board has reached capacity. This method helps identify when no further movements are possible in the game.
Hello, my name is Cecilia May E. Navarro, and I will now discuss the fifth part of the code. In this code, we use a while loop, which is responsible for ensuring that the game will continue until a break condition is met. Also, this code is responsible for taking turns between the player and the computer, allowing each to choose a column and drop their chips or game pieces accordingly. And then inside the loop, we declared an integer variable column to store the column where the player or computer wants to drop their chips or game pieces, and it will check the value of the player's turn to decide whose turn it is. Also, it will check if the player's turn is true, and the player will be asked to enter a column number between 0 and 6. And if the player's choices are invalid, it will continue to ask the player to enter a valid column until a valid one is provided. And then if it's the computer's turn, it will randomly enter a column number between 0 and 6 using math random and assign it to the column. Once the column has been identified, the drop piece function is called in order to drop the piece or chips into the designated column on the bingo board or game. It's either for the player or the computer. That is the explanation of this code. Thank you.
Honest. In this analytic code, we can see that there is a if else statement here in the code. So why we implemented an if else code here. So it will explain to you specify a block of code to be executed. Then, if a specified code condition is true, and we use else statement here in this kind of code here to specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. So as you can see here, so the console game will display, if the player is winning the bingo game, will display in a run of code, will display player 1 will be the winner and the board was full. Same goes, if the player has lost in the game, the console will display, the winner will be the AI, and the same statement will be the AI is now the winner in the game, and the board was full.
So in this code, it will also display the menu of to ask the user if they want to start or exit the game. If the user choice is equals to 1, it will play the game, and if the user choice is equals to 2, it will exit the game.
Hello guys, my name is Yellow D. Piñapel, or can call me GL. In this video, I will tackle what is this game. So this game is called Bingo Lineup Game, or you can call it 4 up straight. So in this game, it consists 6 by 7 of squared grid board, which means 6 row, 7 columns. So to see that, let's play. So in this area, it says player turn X, which means this is your pieces and it's your turn. So to enter this game, you need to look for rows and columns. So let's say you want to enter your pieces in row 6, column 1. Just enter number 1 and then, tada, this is your pieces and this is the pieces of your enemy. Let's say again, you want to enter your pieces in row 6, row 5, column 1. Just enter number 1 and tada. So again, you need to enter if you want to enter your pieces in row 6, columns 2, just type number 2 and tada, this is your pieces and this is the pieces of your enemy. Let's say again, you want to enter your pieces in row 4, column 1, just enter number 1 and tada. And again, if you want to enter your pieces in row 3, column 1, just enter number 1 and tada, we win. So that's it for me and thank you.
Hello, I am Alvin Ortiz and I am here to tackle another part of the out. So how will the game be operated? When running the program, the first thing we will see is a menu where we can choose to either play the game, which is by pressing 1, or exit the game by pressing 2. If the user chooses the option 1, we can see the empty columns that were initialized from the start of the code. As Mr. Penafiel said, there are 6 rows and 7 columns, just like how a normal 4 in a row game would be. The game will prompt the user to choose a number from 0 to 6 wherein they will drop their piece. After the user chooses a number, the program will make the piece look like it fell to the column based on the user's choice. After the user's choice, the computer will take turn and choose a number randomly because of the math random code or logic. The chosen column will be the place where the piece will fall and will prompt the board again after a turn until someone will win. That's it, thank you.
Hi, I am Reynalin Sexiona, 1 ITB, and I am the one who's assigned to provide an overview of the game. So first, if the player wins the game, the program will display player wins, indicating that the player successfully achieved the winning condition, which is to form a line of 4 of their pieces, which is the symbol X, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally on the game board. Second, if the computer wins, the program will display computer wins, indicating that the computer has successfully achieved the winning condition, similar to the player's condition by forming a line of 4 of its pieces, which is the symbol O on the game board. Third, if the game ends in a draw, the program will display it's a draw, indicating that neither the player nor the computer has won, and the game board is full, meaning no more moves are possible without achieving a winning condition. And that's all. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Joshua B. Layog, and I'm in the part called Description of After the Game slash Outro. This is basically where the beta testers gonna try to see some bugs and gonna try and to save the fix on the game, in which this is a bingo game. So I'm gonna be splitting this into two parts: the negative and the positive of the code and the game as well. So the first one is the menu. This code, when run, has straight to the point and plays with the AI. No player choosing the X or the O, nothing. Just a pure bingo gameplay with an AI. And to be honest, at first glance it might not seem that bad. But in the end, it's gonna be painful for other newbie players because when they first play it, basically me, didn't know how to play that much. But still, the user plus slash player is still playing the bingo with an AI with a little message saying, player's turn, enter a column 0 out of 6. To combat this slash fix this, we need a switch code that we can have a little menu before we play the game. Second one is the user in this code is just normally playing the game, playing with an X instead of the O. But what if the player slash user wants the O instead of the X? So in combat this, we need to make an if else code, and the user is just gonna choose which either X or the O, and the player now can change their piece, and the AI can recognize the other piece instead of the fixed player is the X and the computer AI is the O. For the positive ones, this is basically straight to the point. If you know how to play a video game, you will easily recognize and play it times. Specifically, me after I played like 2 times, and trying to get a draw, it's a long story to be honest. Second is the usage of the comments. You will see, sir, that this code is heavily implying a lot of comments when you see the code itself. So other coders can use this as some sort of their reference when they're gonna try their other games as well. And pretty much that's about it, sir. If you see some problems that I missed or we miss in this coding, you can say it so we can know about it a lot better. And as always, thank you, sir.